So I'm going to go over question 1 from 6.8. So question 1 says, the length of a rectangle is 1 foot less than twice the width, and the area of the rectangle is 21 feet squared. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So what we're going to do first, I always like to draw pictures first. So I'm going to draw a picture of a rectangle. And here's the length, L, and here's the width, W. And we know that the length is 1 foot less than twice the width. So twice the width is 2W, and 1 foot less than twice the width is 2W minus 1. So we know that the length is equal to 2W minus 1. Okay. And now we also know the area of the rectangle. Area of a rectangle is length times width. And length times width is, it says 21 feet squared. This is equal to 21 feet squared. Now, we want to solve for the length and the width. And we have the length in terms of the width. So we can replace L with 2W minus 1. So that gives us 2W minus 1 times W equals 21. So we can solve this. So distribute this W to both of these terms. So 2W times W is 2W squared. W times negative 1 is negative W. And then I'm going to subtract 21 over on both sides. So subtract 21 minus 21 equals 0. And now we can solve this using the AC method. There's nothing that we can take out of all these terms. So that's our first step. But we can't take anything out. So the next step is to multiply A times C. So 2 times, or AC, is equal to 2 times negative 21, which is negative 42. And now we want two numbers that multiply to negative 42 and add to a negative 1, which is our B term. And those numbers would be, let's see, well, 7 and 6 multiply to 42, so a negative 7 and a positive 6, or positive 7 and a negative 6 multiply to a negative 42. And since this B term is a negative, then our bigger term will be negative. So negative 7 and a positive 6 are what we're going to use for this. So then we can split our B term into negative 7W plus 6W. And in this case, because I know negative 7 and negative 21 have terms in common, I'm going to write them the other way. So let's see. So negative 7W and a positive 6W. And then that 2W squared comes down here. And a negative 21 comes down here. And that all equals 0. Now we can solve this by grouping. So 2W squared and 6W have 2W in common. And that leaves us with W plus 3. And then negative 7W and negative 21 have a negative 7 in common. And that also leaves us with W plus 3. So now we can take a W plus 3 out of both of these terms and do that over here. So then that gives us 2W minus 7 all times W plus 3. This is set equal to 0, so both of these terms, one of these terms would have to be 0 for the whole thing to be 0. So we're going to set both equal to 0. So when 2W minus 7 is equal to 0, we add a 7 on both sides, we divide both sides by 2, and we get W equals 7 halves. Then when W plus 6 equals 0, or oh, that's a 3, I'm sorry, W plus 3 equals 0, W plus 3, then we subtract 3 on both sides, so we get W equals negative 3, but negative 3 can't be our width because that doesn't make sense. It's not a length. Length can't be negative, it has to be positive. So we're not going to use this W, we're going to use this W. So the next step is to plug this W into our length. So we know our length is equal to 2  2 of our widths minus 1. So we replace this W with 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. So we plug this W into our length. So we know our length is equal to 2 of our widths minus 1. So we replace this W with 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1. 2 W minus 1 is equal to 2 W minus 1 with 7/2, which we found to be our width. And 2 times 7/2, these two cancel, and it's 7 minus 1, which is 6. So our length would be 6. And so we can interpret this now back in terms of the problem. So our length of this rectangle is 6 feet, and the width of this rectangle is 7/2 feet. Or that's 3.5 feet. Thank you.